Maya Brooks could recognize fear before a caller said a single word. It was in the breath before the sentence. The silence after a question. The tiny change in someone's voice when they realized help might not arrive in time. For 12 years, Maya had answered emergency calls for Ashbury County. She had heard fires spreading through walls, drivers trapped beneath overturned cars, people hiding inside rooms while someone searched the hallway outside. She remembered most of the voices, but there was one call she had spent 6 years trying to forget. At 10:13 on a rainy October night, a woman had called from a roadside phone booth outside Ashbury. She gave no name, no location, only one warning. The bridge will collapse tomorrow. Maya had asked which bridge. The woman replied, the one they already buried. Then the line went dead. The next afternoon, part of the old millstone bridge collapsed during repairs. 3 workers disappeared into the river. Only 2 were recovered. The phone company traced the call. It had come from a public phone booth on County Road 6. The booth had been disconnected since 1989. Maya resigned from dispatch 3 months later. She never told anyone the call had sounded familiar. The woman on the line had spoken with Maya's voice. 6 years later, Detective Owen Hale arrived at Maya's apartment carrying a cardboard evidence box. Rainwater darkened the shoulders of his coat. Maya left him standing in the hallway. I don't work for the county anymore. I know. Then why are you here? Owen lifted the box. Because the booth called again. Maya's hand remained on the door. Behind Owen, the elevator doors closed. The hallway became quiet. What did it predict? Owen studied her. I didn't say it predicted anything. It always does. That answer was enough. Maya opened the door. The evidence box contained cassette tapes, dispatch transcripts, maintenance records, and newspaper clippings dating back more than 40 years. Owen spread them across Maya's kitchen table. Every file carried the same phone number, 555-0147. The booth on County Road 6. The earliest recording was dated June 1989. A man called emergency services at 2:41 in the morning. Owen inserted the cassette into a portable player. Static filled the kitchen, then a frightened male voice. There's smoke coming from the school. The dispatcher asked which school. The man gave an address. Ashbury Central. The dispatcher said no alarm had been reported. The caller whispered, "It hasn't started yet." The recording ended. 23 hours later, an electrical fire destroyed the school gymnasium. No one died. The next recording came from 1996. A woman reported that a tanker truck would overturn near mile 87. The dispatcher asked whether she was witnessing an accident. The woman replied, "No." I'm remembering it early. The following night, a tanker overturned at mile 87. The road remained closed for 3 days. Maya looked at Owen. "Where did you get these?" "District Archive." "What district?" Owen hesitated. An old box marked District B. Maya stared at him. Ashbury had never officially had a District B, but she had heard the name before. Dispatch supervisors used to whisper about transferred calls that appeared without a source. Calls nobody was supposed to log. Maya picked up the next cassette. The label read, October 14th, 10:13 p.m. Her call. Owen reached for the player. "The new caller mentioned you." Maya looked up. "What did they say?" Owen removed a digital recorder from his pocket. He placed it on the table, then pressed play. A phone rang twice. A dispatcher answered. A woman breathed quietly on the line, then said, "Tell Maya the booth is open again." Maya's face tightened. The dispatcher asked who was calling. The woman replied, "She knows my voice." Maya reached over and stopped the recording. Owen said nothing. She stared at the recorder. "That's me." "You're sure?" "I spent 12 years listening to voices for a living." "It could be an imitation." "No." Maya looked toward the rain moving down her kitchen window. "It's me." County Road 6 ran north from Ashbury through an abandoned industrial corridor. The phone booth stood beside a closed patrol station, half hidden beneath overgrown trees. Or at least, it had stood there once. When Maya and Owen arrived, only the concrete base remained. 4 rusted bolts, a severed cable, broken glass in the weeds. Owen shone his flashlight over the ground. The county removed it in 2002. Then why did the call trace here? That's what I'm trying to understand. Maya crouched near the cable. The cut end looked wrong, not weathered. Fresh copper gleamed inside. This was cut recently. Owen touched it. No corrosion. A ringing sound came from the trees. Both of them froze. Old-fashioned. Mechanical. A telephone ringing somewhere beyond the road. Maya stood. The sound came again. Owen moved toward the tree line. Maya caught his sleeve. There's no booth. The ringing continued. 3 rings, then stopped. A red light blinked inside Owen's parked car. His radio. They hurried back. Dispatch was calling. Owen answered, "Hail." The dispatcher sounded confused. "We just received an emergency report from your location." Owen looked toward the empty concrete base. "What report?" "A vehicle collision." Maya looked up and down the empty road. No traffic. No headlights. The dispatcher continued. "Caller says a Black County sedan will strike the north barrier at 11:26. Owen checked his watch. 11:19. They had 7 minutes. Maya looked at Owen's car. Black County sedan. We leave it. Owen shook his head. That could be the mistake. What? If we move the car, we might cause it? If we stay, we might cause it. The road remained empty. 11:24. Rain intensified. Headlights appeared around the southern bend. A delivery truck, moving too fast. Owen stepped into the road and waved his flashlight. The truck driver braked. The rear wheels slid sideways. The truck missed Owen's sedan by inches, then struck the north barrier. Metal screamed. The driver survived. Maya stood in the rain watching steam rise from the truck's hood. Owen looked toward his untouched sedan. The call was wrong. Maya shook her head. No. She pointed at the county emblem on the damaged truck door. It was a contracted vehicle. Black beneath the company wrap. The county sedan converted for deliveries. The call had been exact. They had only misunderstood it. The truck driver remembered nothing unusual. He claimed his steering wheel had pulled toward the barrier by itself. Inside the cab, Owen found an old Polaroid photograph on the passenger floor. It showed the phone booth. Intact. A woman stood inside with the receiver held to her ear. Gray jacket, face hidden by reflected light. On the back, someone had written, "Tomorrow, 10:13. Maya studied the image." Where did this come from? The driver shook his head. I've never seen it. Owen sealed the photograph in an evidence sleeve. Maya noticed a faded stamp at the bottom. Ashbury Record Photo Department. She had seen that logo recently in the news. It had been connected to the investigation involving missing hikers and photographs that changed after development. Owen noticed her expression. You recognize it? Maybe. Maya looked toward the trees. But that newspaper stopped using this logo decades ago. The telephone began ringing again. This time the sound came from the concrete base. They turned. The phone booth was there, not appearing gradually, not emerging from darkness, simply present. Glass walls, metal frame, weak light glowing inside. The receiver vibrated on its hook. Owen whispered, that wasn't there. The booth looked older than the photographs. Rain moved across the glass, but the concrete beneath it remained dry. The phone rang again. Maya opened the door. Inside smelled like dust and electrical heat. The directory shelf held no phone book, only a folded map. Maya opened it. Ashbury County. Roads. Bridges. Municipal buildings. Several locations were circled in red. Mile 87. Bellwether Hotel. Ashbury Police Station. Black Pine Lookout, each connected by a thin line. At the bottom, stamped faintly, District B Maintenance Network. Owen said, this isn't a phone map. Maya touched one of the lines. It's a circuit. The phone rang inches from her hand. Owen said, don't answer. Maya looked at him. You came to me because I know the calls. I came because the caller knew you. That's why I have to answer. She lifted the receiver. No static. No breathing. Only Maya's own voice. Older. Tired. You came sooner this time. Maya gripped the phone. Who are you? You know? No, I don't. The voice sighed. You always say that? Owen leaned closer, trying to hear. Maya asked, what happens tomorrow? Her older voice replied, Owen answers the next call. Maya looked at him. The voice continued. Then the booth stops predicting disasters. Why? Because it won't need to. The line clicked dead. The booth light went out. Outside, Owen's phone began ringing. Caller ID, Maya Brooks. He looked at her. Her phone remained in her pocket. Don't answer? Maya said. The ringing stopped, then began again. Owen stared at the screen. What if it's you? It isn't. What if it will be? The call stopped. A voicemail notification appeared. Owen played it on speaker. Maya's voice whispered, the emergency is already inside the booth. They turned. Something had changed behind the glass. The phone was off the hook, swinging gently, but neither of them had left it that way. On the rear wall, condensation formed words. One call remaining. Owen stepped closer. The booth door slammed shut behind him. Maya grabbed the handle. Locked. Owen struck the glass. His voice was muted, as if he stood far away. The phone rang inside. He looked at Maya. She shook her head violently. Owen lifted the receiver. The moment it touched his ear, every streetlight along County Road 6 shut off. Darkness swallowed the road. Maya could see Owen through the booth's weak internal light. He listened. His expression changed. Confusion. Then recognition. Then fear. He looked directly at Maya. The booth phone slipped from his hand. The glass went black. Maya pulled harder on the door. It opened. The booth was empty. No Owen. No receiver. No folded map. Only one cassette tape resting on the metal shelf. A handwritten label. Maya Brooks. Final call. The booth light flickered. Then the entire structure vanished. The concrete base remained. 4 rusted bolts. Severed cable? Rainwater. Nothing else. Maya returned to dispatch before sunrise. The overnight supervisor allowed her into the archive room after she showed Owen's badge. They played the cassette together. The phone rang. Maya's younger voice answered. Ashbury Emergency Services. What is your location? Owen spoke on the other end. Calm. Far away. County Road 6. The dispatcher said no active line existed there. Owen replied, I know. What is your emergency? A pause. Then Owen said, tomorrow, Maya Brooks will reopen the phone booth. Maya leaned closer to the tape. The dispatcher asked why. Owen answered, because I'm still inside it. The timestamp read, June 1989. The first year, the impossible calls began. Maya sat motionless. Owen had not been alive in 1989. Neither had she. The supervisor checked the call database. A new incident had appeared. No dispatcher name. No receiving station. Only location. Black Pine National Forest. Scheduled time. Tomorrow, 10:13 p.m. Attached to the incident report was a photograph. 6 people stood outside an abandoned fire lookout. 5 missing hikers. Detective Laura Hayes. Behind them, inside the trees, Owen Hale held a telephone receiver to his ear. No phone booth was visible. Maya printed the report. At the bottom of the page, beneath the District B stamp, one sentence appeared. Call transfer complete. Maya Brooks disappeared the following night. Her apartment remained locked. Her car stayed parked outside. No evidence showed that she had left. But at exactly 10:13 p.m., Ashbury Emergency Services received a call from the disconnected number on County Road 6. A woman spoke calmly. She reported a missing dispatcher. The operator asked for the victim's name. The woman answered, Maya Brooks. Then she added, please tell her not to answer when Owen calls. The line remains disconnected. The booth remains gone, but emergency calls continue to arrive from its number. Always one day early. Always describing something that has not happened yet. And on rare nights, when the dispatcher asks who is calling, the answer is always the same. A woman's voice. Patient? Familiar? I'm the one who answered last time. If you enjoy mysteries where every clue seems to lead into another impossible case, subscribe to 10-Minute Mysteries. Then watch the previous story. The missing hikers kept appearing in old photographs. Because the final call from the Ashbury phone booth was traced to Black Pine National Forest. And in one photograph from that investigation, a man stood between the trees holding a telephone receiver. That man was Owen Hale. The photograph was taken decades before he was born, which means the booth may not have been predicting emergencies. It may have been placing the callers exactly where the next mystery needed them.